Hello, this is SimSteve. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 4 of our Kerbal Space program playthrough. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Let's dive into it. So here we are back at the KSP. So at the end of the last episode, we did our rendezvous. So, explore Kerbal. Interrupts with crew that have been cooked up for too long. Transfer any crew between vessels near Kerbal. Transfer crew. So that means we need a space. Okay. Right at the moon. Carry 2 tourists. Orbit around Kerbal. Orbit around Kerbal. Okay. Rescue. So I believe if I do this mission, that also counts as our transfer. So we'll do that. What we'll do is we'll create a rescue ship. We need space. What I'll do is I'll put a lander cannon, mainly because it's got extra steps. And I believe it's lighter. 0.91, 0.56, so it is lighter. And what we'll do is we'll put a heat shield on the bottom. Not going to take any science. Parachute. Drone parachutes. That should be plenty for this. Coupling. Basically, this is just a pure rescue ship. It's going to go up, collect that dude, and then come back down. So we want a good amount of delta V for interceptions. Also want to use RCS thrusters. What you want to do is you can do a center of mass overlay here, which brings up this. And if you align them to the center of mass, you only need 4. Just like that. Coupling. Another coupling. Because we like solid rocket boosters, we'll stick with what we know, and we'll do a solid rocket booster. Coupling. 2 couplings. 2 more solid rocket boosters. Down. Get out nose cones on them. Pins on this. It's all very much for much what we normally do, really, isn't it? And that's kind of it. Just other thing to note is just to make sure that there is an empty seat. And 9,000. That should be plenty. Okay then. So let's hit launch. Actually, have we got any launch? So we've had any solar panels yet? Just because we could be sat a while. So first off, we're going to go to map. We're going to set that as target. Looks like he's pretty much over. Let's double check which way around the world he's going. It's going that way. What's it? 86 and 80, so that's quite low. So what we want to do is we want to go above and wait for him to catch up. So if I just wait a little bit longer, about there. This is a complete guess, so we'll see. Let's go. Go again. No, I didn't adjust the throttles again on the solid rocket boosters. Reaching through this guy. So if you're new to the channel, welcome whilst we're launching. If you're old to the channel, hello again. We want to transfer any crew. Any crew into another AFS fund. Okay. So it should work. In theory. I love a good in theory. Try angle ourselves over before the atmosphere runs out and these fins become useless. See how we do. He's there. We shouldn't be far off. Got a bit early, but that's what we wanted. Crank it right over now. I'm sure there's a lot of aerodynamicists or rocket engineers out there that are like, what on earth are you doing, man? That is not a gravity turn. I'll just activate. I didn't want a double stage, you know. We've done this before. So we're going to go up to 100. We're going to get mech jet ready for maneuver planner. Okay, so I wonder, can we just, are we close enough just to do a maneuver? Where is that maneuver node? No. We want to circularize. Next officer, create and execute. I hope we're ahead. It's going to be close, I can tell you that much. Alright. It's going to be pretty much straight into a maneuver, I think, to slow us down. Hopefully I haven't missed it. I'll be here all day. Chasing it. Again. Alt and greater than sign. So we'll get ready for this. Pretty nice join that. Create node. 2 days. We missed it. Right, can we do this better? Move all. We do it after a fixed time of 20 seconds. 5 seconds? 100? Yeah, it's not letting us do anything else other than that. Right, execute. No. Oh, no, it actually created 2 then. 2 days of waiting. It was me thinking we were nice and close. Surely I could have just... Hang on, let's see if we can just make this work ourselves. Here's me thinking I'm cleverer than the machine. What we got intersect distance there? 28 kilometers. However, we'll just do it. We'll just wait. I know it's right then. See what I mean about MechJeb being nice. They're gonna do another orbit whilst we wait. Let's just. It's gonna get trippy. Doing 10,000 times. It's looking at you orbiting the orbiting curve. There you go. MechJeb's catching us now. So that seems to me to suggest that I actually went too early. Not too early, sorry. Too late in the end. And burn time. So go. And we want to match velocities with target, closest approach to target. Ah, why is it not target? Should hopefully get nice and close. See what happens. Obviously from our experience in the last one, we know it's pretty good, MechJeb, but it's not always perfect. Not only that, but this is it's good because we actually get another Kerbal. Kerbal? Kerbal. I'm just trying to look out for the actual target. Normally you get a little dot to say where it is. Right, let's just time off into the sun. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is. So we can find the target. So again, because we haven't actually unlocked the right ones in here, so we can go target plus on MechJeb, which directs us straight at and then we can just use our RCS, nudge us towards it. And then wait for it. So the good tool in MechJeb is where are the smart RCSs. So then you can press the 0 relative velocity and it automatically does it to 0. Basically it's got all the tools that you could possibly want. Can we set the name? Rename Rescue 1. And I'll show you why I've done that in a second. So you want to go to the tracking station. So we've got Rescue 1, which is the ship we're moving to, and Keys Debris. So because we've got close enough, we can now fly that. And then you can EVA, place to let go. You can use his own RCS thrusters, and you can fly him around. And I can find that, so the steps are on the other side. to grab. Beat the board. Should be it. Transfer any crew. Sorted. So now we just want to retrograde. Why is that not? I know, because the smart ASS is still orbital, retrograde, and flip. Let's go for the C, because we don't know how soft this is going to land. So I like to use a polyfuel, fuel, get our orbital velocity down as much as possible. Stop there, because I think we're actually going to hit the land there. Oh, we have, look, check your staging, folks. I did not change my drogue chutes. And here we go. Let's re-enter with our new Kerbal. KG Kerbal. Getting through these goals now. I believe there'll be a docking one soon. We didn't actually use any of our science points up from our last episode yet, have we? You can see this kind of like where you're gonna land line. It's constantly moving. As I say, there's a where we've gone. There we go. Seem to have zoomed out. Recruits. Want to do crew report? Nope. That's a new biome. We'll see when we land. We might get something from a crew report or something. Off. Ah. There you go. That's the next mission bashed out. See how low we go. We might need to jettison the heat shield. 7's okay. This is because it's a landing can. This is actually quite sturdy, let's say. Should be alright. Also, 7 means we're going faster, so it doesn't take us long to do this last little bit. And there we go. Once it stops bobbing, we can recover. Next mission boshed off. See what's next. Explore the moon. So to go into an orbit of the moon. We'd like you to go to the moon and stay there in a nice stable orbit. It isn't personal, it's science. Right. So this means that we need to get our trusty Delta V chart. So let's do some maths. See if there's any like orbit and other ones. Like it. We'll do the flag of the moon one when we get the actual mission to do it. Now recover scientific data from space around Kerbal. Hope we do that. Right then, math time. So using the chart, it's 3,400 delta V to get into orbit of Kerbal. 900 and... oh no, sorry, it's 860 to do a flyby of the moon. It's 280 to get into orbit. Working back the other way, 280 to get back out of the orbit. 860 to get back into Kerbal. And then the rest is aerobraking. So, using the old trusty calculator, 2400 plus 860, 280 plus 280, 60, we want 5,680 delta V. Meters a second, delta V, I think it is. What we want to do now is, because we've got some science to use, it would be nice if we could get a the next size up ship. 190, I'm not sure. Yeah, see that's the command module we want there. So 106, we do have enough, but I would need to upgrade the service bay. Could do that. The problem is we haven't got the engines to go with it. That's the engines we want. And then that's the fuel system we want. From there, so we need to get another 160 science really, don't we? To make the moon mission that I want to do doable. Okay, so that means we can't do it. Simple as. So what I should have done was save my moon flyby ship because I had loads of fuel left. Right, okay, so utility, let's just build this fresh. Double drug. Double that. So, because I'm going to be a bit clever, I'm going to, well, I'm not going to be clever, sorry. It's not something anybody's ever called me, so we'll put this on here. Okay, so that's what's going to come back. Science. Cube. Didn't mind that, did it? Like 3. Every little bit of weight saving is good, because it's less delta V, or less fuel that we need. A bit smaller. 3 of each. Plenty. I'm not going to take a science junior because I don't think we really have the capacity for it right now. Decoupler. Fuel tank. That's a big fuel tank. We don't want that one. We only want the 400. Ah, that's good. We've got an external fuel duct, so we can spider tank. That's nice. I'll explain that in a second. You've never heard of that? We'll do it on this one. Why not? So, spider tanking. What you do is you end up with fuel tanks. So we use 2 of these. And then an engine on the bottom. A swivel engine. Just check that's got enough thrust. 1.13 is good enough. Then you can coupling. Do your couplings. So we only want 2, I think. We don't want too crazy. Fuel tanks. Stick 2 more fuel tanks on the side. Oh, pressed the wrong button. Ah. and then we can use the non-swivelly engines, the more thrust engines. They still 1.7 just. But, so this is where the magic of spider tanking happens. Spider fueling, spider. It's got a name. Onion staging. That's the word, because it works in layers. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to use the fuel tanks, and then we're going to put. So it always goes from where you click to where you click. So first click is where it comes from. Second click is where it goes to. So what's happening there is we can run all 3 engines. Check staging, see? All 3 engines, and it will burn these 2 tanks first. Then it will stage, and then it will go again. So that means that this is actually 1.64 instead of 1.1 as it was. But one thing to note is you do need to add some struts. It's a KSP saying that it's just like more struts. You can never have too many struts. I mean, you probably can. But that's it. And that's kind of what we got. So what is that? 3,000 and a bit. And it got nearly 2,000 in that one, so it should be about right. It might just have to be a little bit of a high orbit, but we can figure that out. And that's kind of where we're at. So we've got Jebediah in charge. Before I can think of anything else, no, let's go. Full power. Well, have we unlocked Ascent yet? Show you that. It's only Ascent status. I think we unlock Ascent later. That's fine. There is an option in MacJeb to basically do the Ascent for you. So, let's go. So as you can see, all 3 are burning, but these are not being used. These are. That is the joy of onion staging. And it works by layers. So then you could add another one on the outside, and you'd have 5 engines, all burning from the outside too. And basically it just helps with weight, so you're using all this up, expending it, and then this one can carry on. Is the mentality of it. I don't actually think any rockets do this in real life. There was talk about the Falcon Heavy doing it at one point, but I don't think they actually did in the end. I think they just throttle the inside engine, this engine, to like as low as it'll go to save the fuel in this one. Is my understanding. Again, if people know in the comments, let me know. Throttle down a bit as we go through. Let's call it max Q. Trying to be as rockety terms as possible. Getting through the atmosphere now, so we'll ramp it up. Beautiful staging there. Beautiful. Now we're getting to 1.4. Okay. Again, we're going to the moon, so we want a fairly high apoapsis. I'm going to go for over 100 again. Stick it on the horizon. So I was saying, I think in the last episode, that we're shooting for a minute here. I think somebody once told me. Oh, I watched a video and somebody told me, should I say. So if you point down, it comes sooner, look. So that's 35, 34, 33. And then if you point up, it gets further away. So basically, you're just kind of chasing that apoapsis. But 1 minute and 30 is fine. I'm just burning on the horizon. Getting there. This is good because I can show you. Oh, you haven't seen it, of course. It's Limit episode 2 that died into the ether of OBS. Thank you very much. If anybody's any good with OBS, please let me know in the comments, because I recorded 2 videos and there is no sound to any of them, and I feel it's gone. I don't think there's any way we can get it back. So, right. Move a planner, circularize. Next step is create execute. So we've actually managed to eke that out to 3 minutes without even looking at it. Like, nice big kind of arc. We'll just do a bit of a circularization. I've never managed to do it in one single burn. You know how they do it in like real life, when you see like the rocket launchers? They're always like one really long burn, and they end up in orbit. And I think that's kind of how they do it. But I take it as good, because MechJeb can't do it either. So MechJeb, the way that works is it does pretty much what you do, but with a much nicer gravity turn, and then it puts your maneuver in automatically and then circularizes you. So you kind of just fire and forget. It's great if you've got like massive ships that are going to take forever. There we go. We're in orbit. That's the debris before. So the moon, set target. Then you want to do a fire impulse deployment transfer to target. And there we go. But what that does is it does a impact basically to the moon, which is great if you want to land, but we don't, so we just want to edit that maneuver slightly. Just take a bit off. Get a periapsis. 83 is a bit far. Want a nice low one. 14 seems a bit low. That's, so you know you're going to crash when there's no periapsis sign. 25, that'll do. Execute next. That's good, because it also takes a lot of error out of it. There's nothing worse than spending hours developing a ship and launching it, and then all of a sudden it's like, crap, I missed my maneuver node. Now I've got to wait 4 years for the next one, especially when you're doing planet to planet in the later game. You can be, when you're waiting for a transfer window, so to speak, some of the wait periods can be years in the game. But we'll get around to that, probably in episode 50 odd. Yeah, KSP is a very long game to get to the end. I've never actually got to the end of the missions that they give you. They always just seem to give you more. I don't know if that's just an endless thing that's kind of generated. Because when you get later on, it's like, build a space station around the moon that has X amount of people capacity and these sorts of things. And it's quite good doing that, because it keeps the game a bit more interesting, and you have to figure out what to do. Because I'm not one for just sitting in a sandbox and game and doing sandbox things. So I don't think. One thing to know, I don't think MechJeb auto stages, so we just need to be a bit proactive here and watch out for it. Ready. So there's a little line, I don't know if you can really see it, there's a little line that says when it's going to stop. Go. We should have plenty of delta V left, so we know that to go into an orbit of the moon is 280. 280 again, yeah. So you can get another mod, which is like Kerbal Engineer, I think it's called, or something like that, which basically tells you how much delta V you need to do. You'd have to sit and math it out all the time. But to be honest, the delta V map's really good, so do is I'll just warp to here. And then what we'll do is we'll get this ready, so we'll circularize at the next periapsis, I believe it's going to be, because it's a periapsis. Go. Then create execute. 225. It's even better than the 280. You can't crew report whilst it's in fast forward. So we need to remember actually that we need to pick up the transmit or recover scientific data from space around Kerbal mission. Crew report. Keep. Let's see if any of these were any good to us. Something. It's better than nothing. Yeah, that means that these are already done. Yeah, we are in an orbit of the moon. So, that's kind of it really. Next we just go home. So again, you can do there's a return from a moon option. So final periapsis we want to set to 40 kilometers. And execute. I'll tell you what, we want to abort that execution because what we'll do is we'll quickly pick up some more science. So we'll EVA. We will EVA report. Keep. We will take the data. We will board. We will crew report. Hi. Keep that on. I think we've doubled up, but as I say, if you double up, it doesn't matter. And then we'll execute. You don't get double the science before you think about it. You just don't get as much, but at least you get some. My chair's falling off. Well, that's happened. Need a hammer. Not a bit of hammer and a duct tape, but fix. What we'll do is we'll quickly go back. We'll land this bad boy and then we'll end this episode because it's already getting a bit long. Another like 40 minutes nearly already. So some of these missions can be very long-winded, especially in the later life. So doing YouTube videos and stuff is probably going to be a we'll pause here and skip to you know when I'm about to land. But this will probably be the last episode, to be fair, that will be like this. All the rest will probably have breaks in them. So let's time up. So I don't think I picked up a crew report. Crew report. EVA. I definitely know we haven't done an EVA report from space. While in space. Keep. Take the data. Board. Yeah. So that just means that I did double up on something. Crew report. Whilst in space. Keep. Believe we've done these in space already. It's a bit more. Done them already. So we'll just quickly time warp to here. I'm just guessing how close, to be fair. I just know that sometimes when I use the proper time warp and don't use the automatic stop, it like I've been through the atmosphere before and it's like you just explode. Next thing you know, you're in a ball of flames. So retrograde. So we've got what we got? A minute of burn. We will use that and just try and scrub off some of this speed before we hit the atmosphere. Cool. Any speed we can scrub off is better for the heat shields. So I always end up burning until completion. Ooh, that's not very good, is it? Just try to negotiate over to the sea. Ooh, wrong way. doing it with SAS, does it? Sorry. Actually, I'll tell you what I might do. Hopefully land in that bit of sea. We'll see. Everybody intended. We're not. We're going to scrub all the speed off and land probably on here. Getting jittery. Oh. Probably came in a bit steep then, really. I'll land. But the positive news there is, I believe that's a new biome. So we might get some science at least. We also might not. We look to be landing somewhere nice. If I was landing over here, I'd be very worried. Quick before I forget. Reduce the altitude of the parachute. 250. We're going low. Oh. Slightly annoying. Didn't get there in time. Probably cut it. Ah dear. Again, back into the boring phase of waiting for the parachutes to land. Especially because there's absolutely nothing you can do once you get to the stage. It's in the hands of the Kraken, as they call it in KSP. Hand of the gods. 4 meters a second should be a nice soft landing. There we go. So what we'll do, EVA. EVA report. Oh, it's the grasslands. We've been here. Never mind, just recover it. Right, so I'll call that the end of the episode for today. Thank you for joining me again, and we will see you in the next one where we get to spend what science we've got. So we've got 94 now, so we can spend that. And we'll see what the next missions are. If you like my content, please like and subscribe as always, and we'll see you in the next one.